tricking me. Every time I touch that track, it turns into gold.
Hey guys, I was just going to kind of update you on where I'm at with my application and what kind of has been going on in the past couple of days since they put up applications. So as most of you know, applications went live on Friday, which is funny because I didn't even know they were going up. Like, I had been subscribed to the Facebook and the email and the Twitter and everything, and the way I found out was actually I thought my internet on my phone was messed up, and I had the thing pulled up just because I check it all the time. And I was like, oh, maybe my internet's off. And I refreshed the page, and then it popped up, and I'm like running around, and I'm like screaming. I was like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Blah, 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 what am I going to do? My roommate's in here, and she's like, you're so weird. Like, what's going on? And we were actually planning on going to lunch, and I was like, I can't go to lunch. I have to fill out my application. And she's like, take a deep breath. We're going to go to lunch. You can come back. You can fill it out. Everything will be fine. So we went to lunch, and the whole time I'm like sitting there, and I'm like, I have to go. I have to go. I have to fill out my application. Like, I have to go. So I like made them drop me off in front of the library because in my lovely, lovely dorm room, we get terrible Wi-Fi. Terrible. Like, it cuts out, like, every 10-15 minutes. And I was like, I'm not about to have my Wi-Fi cut out in the middle of my Disney application. So I, like, go in the library, and there's, like, these rows of computers, and I'm sitting there, and I'm like, this is it. This is time. It's time. We're doing this. It's time. Okay. So I fill out my application, you know, the basics. Tell me about yourself. Your job experience, your references, stuff like that. I can make a video later on, like, once I get in, if I get in, fingers crossed, about like the details of everything. And then I had to do the roles, and I put down like retail and like concierge and like dealing with the public, because that's I'm a PR major, so like that's really what I want to do, is like deal with the public and get experience with that. So I did all that, and I submitted it, and I said, okay, well, I'll wait a couple of days. It's on Friday. I probably won't get to do my web-based interview today. Like, it's fine. So I go back, and me and my friends go out, and we're like kicking the soccer ball, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna check my phone really quick just to see like how many text messages, and then I had an email, and it was like immediate action web-based interview, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go, and I like run, and I'm like leaving the soccer fields, and I bet these people like thought I was such a freak because I'm like, I have to go, Disney emailed me. So I go back in the library, same thing, rows of people, and I'm like, okay. I sit down, and it's Friday afternoon, so there's like not a lot of people in there, thank goodness, because it was really tragic. So I sit there, and I'm like, okay, like I knew this was gonna be the scariest part, and like I knew I was gonna like not do well. Like I was really terrified I wasn't gonna do well. So I like sit down and I take it, and I'm like, okay, it's time. Like, I'll do it. Do each question. I get halfway through, and I didn't know what to put on one of the answers, and so I sat there for apparently too long, and it went to the next screen, and I thought that I was like, I'm done. I didn't get in because I skipped an answer. And so it doesn't tell you like what number you're on, and you just click next, and then the big congratulations screen pops up that you have a phone interview. And I literally, I'm sitting in the library, there's like a group over here, and there's like a guy sitting like directly in front of me, and I start crying, and I'm like, oh my god. And I'm like crying, and I'm like trying to log out of the computer really quick so I can like run out of the library and call my mom. Like, I'm freaking out. So I run out of the library, and I call my mom, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Like, I did it. I passed the web-based interview. Like, I did it. And I go back out to the soccer fields, and I'm like telling all my friends, like, I'm so excited, like I did it, and blah, blah, blah. And then I got the phone interview. Like, they sent me the email for that. And so I said, okay, so I scheduled it. So as of right now, I have a phone interview tomorrow afternoon, or morning-ish, at 11:45, which I will be very prepared for. I'm going to leave campus because we have, along with the bad Wi-Fi, we have no cell phone service. I had absolutely no service in my dorm. None whatsoever. You can't see that. Nope, you still can't see that. No service in my dorm whatsoever. And so I'm going to have to leave campus and like go sit in my car. Like, I'm going to go get Starbucks. I'm going to sit in my car. Everything's going to be well. And so, with that being said, I'm going to share a story with you. Go out of town this weekend. I'm totally prepared for my interview on Tuesday. Totally prepared. Go out of town this weekend. I'm staying with one of my friends, family friends. She ran a road race. We stayed at her house. My phone rings on Sunday. Well, I don't want to say it rings because I didn't hear it. I got a phone call on Sunday afternoon around 11:45 from a blocked number. They leave me a voicemail. So I go in the room about 11:50, and I look at my phone, and I'm like, I have a missed call from a blocked number. That's not good. So I go and I look through it, and I listen to the voicemail, and the voicemail's like, this is so-and-so from Disney College Program. We were just reviewing your application, wanted to talk to you for a few minutes. We'll be in touch. So I automatically have a panic attack. I'm like, I'm crying at this girl's house. I don't even know her. Her like husband's in there. Like, I'm bawling my eyes out. I'm like, I missed it. I'm not gonna get in. Like, what am I gonna do? I don't even know. And so I look at my email, like I'm making sure that like I didn't misread it and it say that my interview was on Sunday instead of Tuesday. I'm like looking at my email and finally there's like a number at the bottom. So I'm like crying. I'm like calling Disney. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. So I call the number and they're like, the offices won't be open until Monday. So I'm like calling my parents I go to school like 5 hours away from my parents, and I was in Jacksonville, so I was like 7 hours away from my parents. Like, they didn't know what to do. Like, they're like, I can't help you. Like, I don't know what to tell you, and like, you need to calm down. So I was like, I can't calm down. Like, you don't understand how important this is to me. Like, I'm freaking out. So like, I stressed about it all day yesterday, but I tried my best not to think about it. And then, so I get up this morning and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna call Disney. So I call Disney at like 8:30 this morning, like as soon as the office is open, and I'm like, oh, well, I have a phone interview scheduled for tomorrow, but I got a phone call yesterday, and she was really nice. She was like, no, you're scheduled for tomorrow, like, all is well. And I was like, okay, well, I was just making sure I didn't miss anything. So I called my mom, and I was like, well, that's weird. Like, I just don't know who called me. And I sent Facebook messages to, like, people I knew that worked there, people I knew that were in the program. I, like, called one of my friends who's in the program right now, and I'm, like, freaking out. I'm like, did this happen to you? Like, why did they call me? And so I call my mom, and I'm like, okay, well, maybe it was just a fluke thing. Like, I don't know. So as I'm on the phone with my mom, I get a call from a blocked number again, and I was like, Mom, they're calling me back. Like, I need to answer. Like, obviously, this is Disney. So I answered the phone, and it was like, hello, is this Hannah? And I was like, yes. I was like trying to be as polite as I could. Like, they tell you to be on your phone interview. And he said, well, this is, I forgot even what they said their name was, from Disney. And then all of a sudden, they start laughing. And they go, I love you, Hannah Wehunt. And I lost it. I started crying. And I was like, this is some kind of sick joke. And I don't understand. And I don't know what to do. And turns out, it was my best friend from back home, who he knows how much I love Disney, and he knows how much I want to get in this program, and he's like, I was just trying to prepare you. And I was like, you don't do that to someone. Like, you don't do that. Oh. So moral of the story is, trust no one when it comes to Disney College Program. You're on your own. It's all on you. So my interview's tomorrow, and so everyone else who has phone interviews, good luck, and hopefully we'll all get in and we'll see you there. So I'll do an update probably later in the week on how my phone interview went. Bye!